Big Time Boxing is taking place at the Barclays Center a week from Saturday on August 1st. In the junior welterweight title main event, Danny Garcia will take on Brooklyn's own Paulie Malignaggi. Now, also world middleweight champion Danny Jacobs will fight Sergio Mora. Now, to talk about it, I want to welcome back Doc Stanley of Sports in Depth Blog Talk Radio. Doc, welcome. Man,
Always a
see you in
pleasure,
a while,
my friend.
man.
Hey, all praise the Father God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Always great to be where you are, man. The best there is.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks for coming on. And also, as well as light heavyweight contender Earl Newman. Earl is 6-0 and also former Golden Gloves champ. Matter of fact, he just turned pro last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Earl, first, before we get into what's taking place August the 1st, the transition or the change from going from amateur to pro. I know it's first the money.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the transition is like you have more time. Like in the amateurs, you have 3 rounds with 3 minutes, so you gotta be on it, straight out the gate. But here you have more time to feel the opponent out, set stuff up, and I like it more. Plus, without the headgear, you see everything better and you react to things better. So I like the pro game.
And also the rounds. Right now you fight 6 rounds, 5 rounds?
I started off as 4 initially, and then my last fight was my first 6-rounder. So little by little, goes from 6 to 8, 8 to 10, then to 12.
And the training also?
The training, yeah, it gets more intense. Yeah. The more rounds, the harder we go, the more miles I put in.
All right, folks, August the 1st. Now, also, we have Paulie Malignaggi. He's fighting Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia had a tough fight last year against Lamont Peterson.
I don't know if the fight was so tough. It seemed maybe, I think, situation with the weight. Once happy birthday, Jerry Reese today, Barry Bonds, and A-Rod Gabby. I think Danny to the fight is a transition in weight. I think this fight against Paul is going to tell us a lot about Danny.
But from what I heard, he's been having a tough time making the weight also.
Yeah. But that was the reason why the Lamont Peterson fight was a fight that really had no weight limit. Peterson lost his title coming into the ring. Danny's title wasn't up for grabs. So it really made for a card that had no pizzazz in it, no title fight.
Now, Danny Garcia also has removed, from what I gather, he's been removed from one of his belts. Right. He no longer has one of his belts anymore, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard about that too, but it doesn't really matter because he was going up in weight regardless anyway. So to relinquish the belts, it's not going to affect him that much. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he saved some money paying the sanction fees.
Yeah.
Now we also got Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is fighting Sergio Mora, who's also a junior, former junior middleweight champ.
Well, the thing with him is that Danny was a guy, thank God he had the cancer, he beat it, and when the boxes opened up, he was the feel-good story, a guy that they thought would never fight again, and now, by the grace of God, middleweight champion of the world.
And this is also his second title defense.
His second title defense, yeah, against Sergio Mora. He won actually a show that was hosted by Sugar Ray Leonard back in the day called The Contender. So he's going to bring some fire towards Danny. It should be a step up and a good fight in terms for his title, but I feel like Danny will take the fight.
You got to watch him, Mike. He's good with this TV. Don't bring him back too often, man. Don't bring him back too often. He's ready to take over.
We want to also talk about Al Heyman and also this particular boxing match that's taking place August the 1st.
All right.
What is this?
This is on a PBC card, which is like, Al Heyman's like, Premier Boxing Champions telecast. He's putting up the cash for it to put boxing on free TV. So, it gives people a chance to showcase and see fighters before they're 20-0 and the whole pay-per-view shebang.
Before they go to Showtime, HBO.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think is there going to be a struggle, you think, Doc, between the Showtime and HBO?
I don't think so. I think Pacquiao Mayweather fight took care of that one. I think Kelly Swanson does a great job with your PR people. Now, this is what people wanted again. Holyfield talked about that. He said, I couldn't wait to get on free TV. You get the exposure, like he says. There's no pressure. Because sometimes there's a card on the pay-per-view card. You don't see it. They only do the 3 fights. So they don't see his fight as the second fight. This way you say, Al Heyman has done it. He's brought free TV back to boxing, a la Don King.
Right, so Al Heyman is the next rising star, especially when it comes to boxing.
He's there.
He's there.
He's posed a real big threat to other promoters and everything. So technically, he's not a promoter. Let me correct that. He's not a promoter. He's a manager / advisor. But he is fronting the money to make this possible for all the up-and-coming fighters.
He's the man. He's the man. Let's just cut it out. He's the man.
Now, Earl, your next fight, you're fighting hopefully in September, right?
Yeah, I don't have a set date yet, but September. So right now I'm training but not pushing it yet till about maybe the beginning of August, and I'll let y'all guys know whenever hopefully it'll be here in Brooklyn, New York.
Your style of boxing, how would you describe your style? And also, how much has your style changed from the amateurs to now that you're pro?
Well, honestly, like my style has stayed consistent. I'll say I have a boxer puncher style, but I'm a boxer first. You know, I don't go in there expecting to knock anybody out, but I do hit hard. But I'm not like a Sergey Kovalev or anything like that. But I rely on my speed, my reflexes, and the natural athleticism I have and everything. But like I said, my style stayed consistent and everything. So like, to me, I didn't have to change too much, just the fact of I'm happy I have more rounds to do what I got to do in the ring. So, it's all working out. It's coming together nicely.
Kovalev fights this weekend.
Right.
A great champion, great guy. Just had a new baby. Congratulations to him. So, and he said he sparred with him. So it's always good when you can get a young up and coming star can fight with a champion. So I think that was a big educational aspect for you, wasn't it?
Definitely. And like I said, because I was contemplating last year between staying for the Olympics or going pro, but I was out there in the Mike Tyson gym training for an amateur competition, spar with Kovalev because he's run through his sparring partners out there. So they saw me, it's like, you know what, why not? You want to spar? So I was like, yeah. We gave him some great work. So there's like, hey, come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I was like, sure, why not? And I was able to gauge my level on a world champion stats because he's ranked #1 in the world. And I hung in there with him, and everybody was highly impressed. His coach, John David Jackson, all of them, they was like, you got the goods. So I was like, you know what?
Too, JJ,
now,
champion.
also, you have another young light heavyweight, also here in the New York City area, Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, with Marcus, he's signed with Owl also. And, he's a good fighter. I think he's maybe about 15, 16-0. So, he's definitely somebody to watch out for also. Him is also another kid signed with DeBella called Travis Peterkin. There's other people out in Long Island, Shawnee Monahan. There's a lot of light heavyweights here in New York City. So, eventually everybody's going to cancel each other out. So.
And this is exciting for the light heavyweight division because the light heavyweight division was a division that really, back in the day, they got little respect. You had folks like Bob Foster. Maybe you even
Humada.
You even had also maybe way back when you had folks even Archie Moore.
Archie Moore.
Yeah, so you had that. But when the heavyweight division was really alive, the light heavyweight division was like purgatory.
Yeah, but as of right now, ever since I'll say it's due to Bernard Hopkins also, with him being like, an old guy, 49 years old, making history, it brought some light back to the light heavyweight division. And right now it's becoming a hot box for boxing. Like, they got Adonis Stevenson from Canada. Well, actually he's Haitian. Sergey Kovalev, and they got a lot of up and coming contenders and prospects.
And you still got Hopkins, still got Bernard. Bernard's going no place.
Do you see yourself going to the heavyweight division?
I'm 23.
5, 6 years from now, yeah, you're only 23.
23, turning 24 in August, but naturally my body's supposed to fill out, but right now I'm just focusing on keeping my weight.
Right now, what are we on later now? I mean, here's a contract: $5 million light heavyweight, $22 million heavyweight.
Oh, I'm going where the money's at.
Okay, there you go.
I'm going where the money's at. Yeah,
one more pound. You have 175, 176. You heavyweight. One more pound difference.
Hey,
Also, local boxing really picking up here.
Well,
in the city.
Mark Abrams had a nice card over LIU. Your man Dimitri's always got something. That's important.
Matter of fact, he has a big card holding up at the in Coney Island. August 25th.
Mark and him and Lou DeBella always with always his Broadway boxing cards, and those are the things that make the game. The little cards where you can see guys like him coming up, where he can fight someplace where you can hobnob with. There go Mike Bellamy. There go Marion Boykin. Those are the great. We missed that because the felt form is no longer here. That's where boxing no longer have boxing department has hurt boxing. But those little things, DeBella, Abrams, Dimitri, and you doing it here too. Big.
August the 1st. How do you guys see it?
In terms of Danny Jacobs,
Danny Garcia, and Paulie Malignaggi.
With that, it depends on which Paulie shows up. If Paulie of old comes back snapping that jab, moving, he will pose problems for Danny because Danny's a little bit flat-footed, relies on his power. But if Danny goes in there and does his thing and catches him with that big left hook, Paulie should go back to commentating.
I like Jacobs.
All right.
And Paulie and Danny could be. It depends what Paulie shows up. Is Paulie really still thinking of retirement? I'm just doing this. I would lean toward Danny. Wouldn't be surprised to see Paulie pull it up. Danny Jacobs, without question, wins the fight.
All right, good. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming. We'll have you back, especially as you go for that light heavyweight title next year.
And the future heavyweight champ of the world.
That's true.